There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 of things we know. Spirit of things, we lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, the things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Fill me out with your smile, like the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame, I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down, 'cause with you I'm safe and sound, 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 safe and sound.
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
This is the end of this recording. Please contact us.
When the
What if I go stronger? What if I get higher? What if I start doing things I know I will regret? I will make my own way, I will not surrender. I will do my best until I get put under. What if I go stronger? 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 What if I go
I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips. But I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive.
everyone, welcome to LCC 2018. Congratulations first off to everybody who entered this year. It was a pretty good year. I feel like we got some solid entries like across the board this year, and good use of theme this time. You know, I feel like theme sometimes can be pretty tough to lock down, but I think you guys did that this year. This year we are let me introduce, well, first myself, Antoine. You guys know me as the dude who runs LCC currently, Facebook, Discord, websites, mostly Nate and Vapes, or Christopher Spensley, if you guys are familiar with him, but also a judge this year. I also have with me Max. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Max, and how someone might know you.
Hi, I'm Max Jordan. You might know me from Loyalty, which I won the contest with a few years ago, and then Recollection 2 years ago, and then I was a judge last year. And I also made the promo this year. That was fun.
Oh, yes, you did do the promo this year, yeah, which is great. I think that'd be cool if we do a revolving door of creators, previous entrants that do the trailer. It's pretty cool. Next up, we got Philip. Let people know who you are.
All right. Hey, I'm Philip Pulling, also from Loyalty and Recollection with Max. This has been my first year judging, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, and if someone doesn't recognize you, can you do like one arm kind of a thing? So someone might.
I can try. Like,
you're like, oh, you might not recognize him now, but now you do because he's got one arm, which is crazy. And people are like, we want a sequel, but we have to roto his arm out this entire time.
You know, I actually had it like tweaked behind my back for all those shots with like a cap on it. So there was only a tiny bit of like orange tape going through for the roto, and it's like, no way I'm doing a whole fight like that.
Yeah, that's crazy, insane. But last but certainly not least, we have Ricardo Elliott.
Hello, people. You may know me from such tools as Ricky vs. Silent Bet and Nemesis. And I do visual effects. There you go.
This is where the comments come like, where's Nemesis? Where is it?
I'm working on it right now.
I literally watched it the other day too, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's actually pretty good. Like, it was long, but it's actually like pretty solid.
Very long.
Which is why it's taking so long. So schedule, let me let you guys know what's going on. Also, a little bit of a reminder, I forgot to get the link for it. Can someone grab the link for the bonfire shirt thing? Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh,
I should have had that prepped already. I'm sorry. Oh, we're so professional here. Hold on, bonfire LCC campaign. All right, cool. So today is the last day. If you want to get a LCC 2018 shirt, I'm going to link it right now in the chat for everybody to look at. I'll also link it again in the Discord. Also, we have a Discord if you want to join our Discord. Let me put that in right here. Today's the last day to grab one, so go ahead and do that because once it's over, that's it. We won't really have anything until next year. Maybe I'll do it a little bit sooner next year so that this doesn't become a thing. But we'll be doing live judging right now. We're going to be talking about our top 10 nominations in no particular order. It's just how we have it. After that point, we'll do a short intermission where we will deliberate about which ones we think did best in each category, and then we will award those categories after intermission, which will be for best choreography, best performance, best cinematography, best editing, best theme, popular vote, and best overall entry. And then we'll do a little bit of our final thoughts. The show will end. We'll tease out what we're going to be doing for next year's LCC and the theme, which will involve you guys, so stick around for that. And then I'll do another reminder for some other stuff. But other than that, if you guys have anything else to say, we're pretty much ready to go. You all good? All right, cool. Sweet. So what we're going to do is you guys are going to watch alongside with us on stream. For us, I'm just going to say 3, 2, 1, unpause. And when I say unpause, we'll have it, and then we'll start judging. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, unpause. By the way, this year's intro done by Max himself.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I should probably turn this down so I can hear you guys.
Thrown together in about 1 hour, and I was like, oh, I guess this is what we're using.
Because I think you used it initially just for the commercial, right?
Yeah, I thought I was going to have time to.
So these guys were entered last year. They won last year against the odds, because I always mess that up. It was against the odds, all odds. So it was fun to see them come back at it. And I like the setup. Like you get the theme right away with the weddings. I like that there's that choice there. A little bit of backstory.
I like how they kind of sold that it was a larger group of people pretty well. That was like a battle. It didn't look like there was just a few people.
Yeah, they did a good job of making it
Yeah.
look like a battle, like keeping the shots very compact,
Yeah.
close, that you can maximize the amount of space that people look like they're doing in the background.
Sort of maximizing the amount of people in the background, so you're like, oh, it's just everywhere.
Right.
I also like the character design and their looks and their costumes and stuff.
Very much, especially this guy, the father. Like
Especially him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's creepy. You know what I mean?
He's got a shark tooth necklace, and it's like, what do sharks look like in the Star Wars universe?
Oh, that's right.
They fly.
Probably in Star Wars, they probably do fly. And I like some of the force powers they were doing too. I know there's a sequence coming up where he pulls a guy's head up. I mean, I could tell it's like a reverse thing, but it's really effective in the way that they edited it together. I think that was really good.
I really like the physicality of the big dude, the guy that was the officiant in the wedding, and just like he has a really cool physicality.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of want to know, did you guys, if you're in the stream, did you roto all of the little things around the emitters of the blades? I just saw one and I was like,
oh, is it they have a little thing in the middle?
Yeah,
like
sometimes they have holes in them and you're like,
oh, that's tough. Like that one, that was brutal. That
yeah.
Force pull and
bell sound.
Yeah, pretty good. Very good sound design. Oh, I didn't realize that guy gets stabbed twice. Now I think about it, because he got stabbed just now in the back, and then later on he gets stabbed through the heart. Dang, he's brutalized.
Also, that guy running in.
She's the same girl from last year, right? The one who was like being turned or something, and then she like opened her eyes, and they like. I feel like it's the same actress, right? Or am I crazy? Thinking that's the same girl from their last year's entry.
Can't tell.
Oh, okay.
But maybe.
Let us know in the chat, because I know that the creators are in the chat. If that's the same girl or not, I totally think it is, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, again, like my favorite component was definitely the dad character.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
like,
just looking at that again. It's like, I want to see more of them two fighting.
Even it's fun. Like, you don't see that a lot. Like, you see how you just that stab sequence? Like, sometimes you see a lot of slashing, but not a lot of stabbing, especially with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I see stuff like that. And then is there anything else like I feel like I like this one, but I do feel, especially coming from what they were doing last year, I do feel like the editing is a little bit too fast at times. Like, I do kind of want to enjoy the performances that is going on. And last year I feel like I did see it a little bit better. This one I feel like it was a little too choppy at times.
Right. Yeah, I kind of wanted a few more shots that were just like a little bit pulled back and kind of just showing the geography of the scene and where people are a little bit more. And also there seemed to be a lot of focus issues. Like, the main character for the shot wasn't always in crisp focus, which I know obviously is hard to do when everyone's moving around.
Right.
But a few shots I feel like needed a little bit better on the focus. But it also looks like an issue with like the quality of the camera, or maybe an
wherever
issue
else.
having to punch in or something.
This year was a little bit of a downer for a lot of the some of the entries. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of good guys just kind of getting off or whatever. I mean, this one I think works. I'll get into some critiques for some other entries, but this one I think works because it's about having your freedom above being forced into a marriage, being forced into a situation you don't want. So I get like the message there a little bit, versus some of the other ones where it just seems like good guy kind of just died. You know, this one I think is a little bit more successful.
Yeah, I really like how this one did. Like, this choice was cool.
Right.
Like, I really
the
like
theme for choice in this one was pretty well done. I would agree with that one for sure. And that's a good ending too. Like, you don't really need to see it. Just
and this last shot is really good. I really like this last shot.
Yes, and definitely props on putting your credits over footage so that
Yep.
It would fit in the time. There was a lot of people who had a lot of 4:59 and 5-minute entries this year for sure.
Yep.
All right, hold on. We're gonna pause right there. Let me go back to the next spot. Any last comments you guys have for this team and their entry for till death do us part?
Yeah, I would say my main thing is focus a little bit more on stepping back with the camera a little bit every once in a while, and just kind of showing where the characters are and what they're doing, and then try. And this was something else I noticed last year on their entry was the issue with the focus, just here and there, few shots here and there.
And they have the ability, like you can tell they have some pretty dope performers. So like you guys are performing your choreography pretty well. So let us see that. Like we will want to see it. I mean, not obviously you do want that frenetic pacing, you know, to give that jarring feeling. But at the same time, like maybe have a shot linger a little bit more so that we can see those amazing performances, because we do see them in clips, like especially like we were saying with the dad character with the white tips on the side. He was doing some really cool stuff. I would like to see like a little bit more of that going forward. But yeah, I think it was successful, you know, all around. Like you guys have more comments, Ricky or Philip?
Yeah, I would say I really liked some of the things that I was seeing with the move set, the choreography. So that this is the one for me is the choreography was up there and the performance was up there, but it's like just needs that little bit more to break into being really, really good. But it's still pretty good. So like there was a moment where she kind of does a stab at him from behind her back, where I could almost see it in her face where she's like, oh, I'm in this position, I got to stab, and goes for it, and he deflects, and I was like, yes, that was good. But then it goes right back to stick bashing.
Good note. That was
almost,
very good note.
Almost like an episode 3 feeling, just sort of twirling until we can hit each other again. And so it was like, there was really strong moments kind of with the stick bashing, and I was like, you're doing good, guys. It's like, come back next year. Show us what you got.
Yeah.
And then there was one more note, which we couldn't tell it here, but it seemed that there was some issues with the dialogue.
We did mention that. I forgot to say that. That's true.
The voiceover. And am I right in assuming that it was the dialogue was recorded after, or was that on set?
Or like if it was like an ADR situation, yeah.
Yeah. Or it would have helped put me into the film a little bit more to have the dialogue a little bit clearer.
Because we did have another entry, I think it was The Choice, right? Where they did speak in their native tongue and just had subtitles, right?
Right.
If I'm making that. Yeah. So I think we were thinking like it would have been nicer to have, and also just nice to have those more natural performances instead of like, you know, trying to get through the English dialogue, because it's obviously like, you know, a second language or not a first language. So yeah, like playing to the strengths. Don't like try to make it English just because you're trying to like, you know, adhere to like an American audience, whatever. I mean, true, there's like this misconception that we don't like reading, you know, or we don't watch subtitled films. But for something like LCC, I think we will be okay with it, especially if it's more, you get a better performance out of it. You know, you don't want to compromise your performances. So
yeah, and it's not just about the language; it's also the technical issues that there's a lot of background noise in the dialogue, and that just pulled me out of the film a little bit. Noise. But yeah. Yeah,
cool. Ricky, do you have anything? We can go to the next one, or
I mean, what you guys said. I think the thing I'd just like to see them do more of next year is just like whatever parts of your choreography you guys are most confident in, like get that wide master shot, like just let it breathe a little bit, and throw in that other stuff. Like the frenetic stuff is good, but just like you got to bring balance to the force of choreography and shots. But yeah, I like that one. Yeah. It had really good emotion, really good use of theme. So,
all right, cool. So if everybody has it queued up, we're going to get the next one on in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. What? I already saw this entry. It's got the same intro.
Again, are we gonna do this every year?
Ooh, interpretation. Yes.
Yeah, interpretation. This one had an awesome twist. Like I literally, like when I first watched it, I had an audible gasp at the end. I was like, whoa, whoa.
Yes, and very good job on telling the story without dialogue. I'm a fan of like visual storytelling like this, and this one was really solid in that. Like it was very clear what was happening.
And I think that's the main thing you want to do for something that like the LCC, because you should be telling a story through a fight, you know. And I think sometimes people will stop and have dialogue and then get back into the fighting instead of having it being an integrated thing, which is the best thing I think to do. I'm
actually part of this Facebook group that's about fight choreography and stuff, and it's called The Art of Nonverbal Dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It is a dialogue scene, just that you're trading punches instead of like words. So yeah, and they did it pretty good with their pacing. I liked it. I like to have the master. Although I am confused by the ending with the Sith guy coming at the end. Like, was it like, yeah, I meant to kill my master? Like that kind of threw me off. I'll admit. Like,
yeah, you wonder if that could have been
comes
foreshadowed, but at the same time, like, where would you have put it where it wasn't obvious? So I think what they did with the way that they were putting their story out, they did the best that they could with that.
I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the multiple shots in one frame here.
Oh, I am. I think they did it pretty
Very
well.
San Raimi.
Oh, you know what? I just noticed something I didn't notice before. When they find her in the woods, she has like something burning on her shoulder, and then there in that one, she drops the saber and grabs the burn, and it's like, ow, my injury. I didn't see that before.
I didn't notice that either. That's actually pretty good. But I do like the story. I like 24, and 24 did that all the time, and I thought that was like a pretty nifty little thing.
I do like this one, which is comparing, how they deal with failure.
Exactly. Like he keeps fighting through it. And oh yeah, that's true. There was actually a few of those. There
was a few, and I was like, people are catching it.
And I like this girl. She's actually got a pretty good performance behind her. Like she's giving it.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if she's trained or something in something. Oh, and then she's also gonna have another stab sequence, which I thought was I like stabs. I want to see more stabs. Because I see a lot of slashing, and cuts, but not a lot of stabbing, and quite effective.
I find it interesting. Her style, she tends to especially a little bit earlier. She tends to kind of hold the saber with both arms, kind of at arm's length, doing a lot of. It's like, if this was a weapon that would kill you with a touch, I kind of want to keep it a little bit away from my body as well.
Yeah,
which it worked for me.
I like that disarm too. That was a nice disarm.
Oh yeah.
I also love their glows.
Yeah, their glows are actually really nice. Their glows, the fall off on those
simple
glows
and clean.
Yeah.
And the roto doesn't jump around.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, even the fall off, I think is really good. This is the part I was like, okay, she killed him. No, she didn't. Oh my god! But then the confusion starts when he walks off. Like I would think he would mourn his. Like for me, I thought the story would be, oh, I must mourn the master I just accidentally killed. But then he kind of like walks off with the Sith, and I'm like, you did that intentionally? Like what?
Yeah.
That was confusing to me personally.
Unless the
Sith
Sith
to interpretation.
Unless the Sith isn't actually there either. Like you can't see, like we can see him, but the kid can't.
It's an internal darkness. But even if it is like an internal darkness thing, I didn't really catch like a nefarious action coming from the kid, and that he intentionally meant to kill both the injured apprentice, and his master. Like I thought it was gonna be like oh my god, I did this by accident, and then the master goes like, oh my god, I thought she killed me, but no, he was defending me and trying to kill her, and then like that's what I thought the story, and then it didn't go that way, and I was kind of confused for a little bit there.
It seemed like the way that they were doing choice was, it's like he was going to choose not to rescue her because he had a vision of the future, but then he chose to anyway, even though he knew he was going to die, but he was making his choice on a misinterpretation and his vision.
I think that was pretty well done though.
And so I think it could have maybe a more foreshadowing on the Sith background character's influence on the boy, but super subtle would have helped. But
because
I think the girl is set up to be like a red herring, but the issue with that is that we don't, like you said, we don't have the setup for the boy. Like something earlier on should have hinted at, because all we see from him throughout the whole short is that he's good. Like we see the two shot of her getting frustrated and him being like, oh, it's cool, I'll try again. So you're like, okay, he's cool, he's sensible, and then like you have the kill at the end, and it's like, oh, that wasn't really that payoff. I didn't see where that was coming from.
On technical side, for the most part, the pacing was really good. The edit was good. There were a few shots where when the shot starts, I could tell like they had just called action, and so everyone's like starting their walk forward.
Too. Right.
So maybe chopping off another half second on the beginning of that take or something would have helped a few moments there. But overall, the pacing was good for me. Yeah,
I think it's pretty. And then maybe some more varied shot selections, because the fight was kind of always almost a two shot, and then just like a guy following. You could vary that up a little bit.
Yeah, most of them were like man height, medium shot kind of thing. So yeah, varying the angle up and down a little bit as well.
Most of everyone is familiar with Ryan and Weber. A thing that me and Ricky have filmed with him, and one of the things he always was talking about, you would always see him either getting on the ground or going really high up. He almost never wanted to do a shot straight on, because that's how everybody tends to shoot, and it looks kind of flat that way. So he would always, like, before we would do any kind of sequence, would get in the strangest positions just to find like a more interesting shot. So I think that's something that, and you know, the entries should do a little bit more, like find shots before you start shooting. So
that could be.
All right, let's
I
go
would
to the
say-
next one. Oh, yeah, you got a note? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna have a note. I think this was the only entry this year that was like had training montages in it. I think it was either last year or a couple of years ago. There was a bunch that were, these people are training, right? And something that I always see in the training ones is, you know, they're going slow. They're trying to show their progression. I thought this one did a really good job showing that progression. Like he does a little fight with the boy and the dad, or master and apprentice, and he's like, haha, I got you, but no, I got you down here. And so I don't know, when I was thinking about it, I was trying to decide if that like doubly counts as choreography or not, because it looked like they were doing forms, looked like they were doing kata.
Yeah, it definitely looks like kata for sure.
And
I agree.
So I was like, are you taking a kata from something existing, or did you come up with your own thing? I was trying to think about it from a choreography standpoint, because those, the way that progressed, it works for me. But then when you get to the actual fight, it's like, oh, this is different. This is an actual fight. I really like that.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they hinted on that, a little, like really like touch on that a little bit more, so that you do see it come up with his fight with the girl, or the girl on the inverse, like, you know, seeing how, oh, this is the reason why I kept training with this in this situation, kind of a situation. But it wasn't, I don't think it really was about the training portion. It really was about that twist. But yeah, let's get in the next one so that we can keep it rolling. So are you guys all queued up right now?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, unpause. This next one is Destiny 3. That's the next one we got right here.
Yes.
This one is one of those that has like a very good overall package, like of a fight, in terms of like even them upholding to the theme, them having really, really good cinematography and editing, and having a very solid performance in choreography. Like, this is the kind of and even that, I love that they have very interesting choreography where he's like, oh wait, I don't have a weapon, I have this branch. You know, like really, really good, like really good stuff going on.
And I love the lighting and the way you the lights and shadows, and just the overall the quality of the footage is really nice, and you're great and everything.
And the quality of visual effects too. I think the only thing that wasn't completely successful was some of the body chopping, but everything else though, like these blows are beautiful.
Yeah, it's like that triple strike, triple punch was kind of a motif throughout the whole film. I thought that was interesting.
I love his reaction
to the thing coming next to him. Like small stuff like that matters. Yeah.
It actually looked real. Like he actually flinched right there.
I was like, oh god, yeah. Yeah, so good acting again. Like I was saying before, performances are very stellar. They do a very good job of there's an editing technique called cutting on action. Sometimes what you'll get with beginner edits is that you'll have someone complete the action and then they cut and then you do the second action. What they're doing here, and it's something that other entrants should look at too, is that you want to cut in between. Like if there's a swing going on and you're at the top, you want to cut to another angle while it's still coming down, rather than it being like, oh, he just did the motion and let me cut and he does the other motion, because it makes everything look a lot more fluid. And the editing kind of just disappears, you know, and that's how you want it. You don't want people to see the editing. That's really good too. And pacing, pacing is good.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I don't want to keep talking.
I actually wanted to talk about the props for a second, because that's kind of what I do. Is I like the props, and I'm like, it's still, you can see the kind of the drain pipe and electrical tape there, but it doesn't take you out of the story.
Right. And I like this idea too of the choice being like which saber he'll choose. You know, that actually is a actual ability, which I always mess up the name of it, but it's Quinlan Voss's ability in the EU, where you can touch something and like see its future or see its past.
And I also like, and something that's been consistent with all of these guys' entries is the momentum of their fights. Because something I try to do a lot in my fights, depending on the film. Like when I tried to do it with Prevail a lot, was the feeling of, running downhill, where you like the momentum of not being able to stop. I love the idea of that and try to capture that in some of my fights, and these guys do it really well.
Oh, there's the 3-punch you were talking about before.
Yep. They've done it in all the fights so far.
And they're doing a really good job with doing something called inserts. So you'll have like a guy fall back and then you cut to his feet, dragging, and like all that stuff really matters. It seems really subtle, and when you're shooting it doesn't seem like it's going to matter, but when you do get it in the cut and you do it right, that stuff goes a long, long way.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing subtlety very well.
That was a good trick.
But even like, I wouldn't say they have the best. I'm not saying their choreography is bad. It's very solid. It's not the best, but the fact that they shoot it so well and edit it so well makes it work. This might be a crazy opinion, I actually don't believe the people that I look up to, like Ryan Weber, I don't actually think he has the best necessarily.
Hey, a tree.
What the tree? They do it every year. They have to every time. They necessarily have. Oh, they had 2 trees this year?
Yeah, there was
the
a
guy
little
falls
one
into
in
one.
the earlier fights.
And that's really cool. I think the force and then bringing it back is good use of force abilities here too, I think, in most entries. But like I was saying before, like some of those top entries aren't necessarily the best for the choreography for performances, but kind of like the overall package of putting that together. Because while something like Art of the Saber, I feel like is much better performed, and I like the choreography a little bit better, in terms of the pacing and overall filmmaking of it, the Ryan vs. Dorkman did a much better job. So I think keeping an eye out for that. Sometimes you might get too bogged down being like, oh no, but I can't like do this awesome move like Darth Maul did in episode 1. You don't really need to do that, all the time. You just got to make sure you get all your other bases covered and you can get a pretty solid fight out of it, which is represented here in Destiny 3, I think. Sorry if I'm talking too much. You guys can totally interrupt me. I'm just trying to like can't have dead air. So like interrupt me at any time.
Yeah, I was a fan of, like a lot of people are using like Ultra Sabers or the actual prop sabers a lot this year, especially. But I generally like the thinner lightsaber blades, and that's what I liked about the look of the sabers in Destiny. They're really thin, and the glows looked really good. And so I was a big fan of the effects in that one.
Yeah, I'd venture to guess they were using either the carbon fibers for the Novus, the ones that Saber Shop were doing, or they just got their own carbon fiber rod, which has been one of our favorites for blades in the past as well.
Yeah.
And also music. I just saw there was a credit. They did original music for that, which makes sense because it did go very well with it.
Yeah. Oh, and did anybody notice the little like Darth Vader theme foreshadow?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't catch that. Oh, that's nice.
At the very very end, there's a little bit.
It's like in the end he goes back on his choice and chooses the yellow saber and slices the guy up, and it's like right after that it's like dum da dum dum, and I was like, whoa. A lot of the original scores this year are doing great things with their thematic material.
Cool. Anything from Ricky or?
I like the music. I noticed in the credits it was done by one of the performers. So one of the guys fighting also did the music. So yeah, definitely props to them for that because that takes time.
Yeah, but they did a pretty good job. They did a good job of keeping it. And then I didn't even catch that thing, but that's something that a more advanced score person would do. I don't even know what you would call the composer would do. All right, cool. Got the next one queued up. We're gonna unpause it in 3, 2, 1. Unpause.
Someone in chat on the last one said those guys had to split.
Had to split. That's crazy.
So someone else said Destiny Tree.
Destiny Tree. Wow.
By the time they get to Destiny 10, they'll have to.
Oh yeah, this one is.
That's 14.
Ooh, yes.
This is my fate.
Oh, yeah.
This one actually did not make my top 10, so I don't have too many things. I'm gonna have to let you guys take it on this one because I don't have as many things to say on this one. So you gotta take it away. No dead space.
Out of it the most was the somewhat clear inspiration from Loyalty. Kind of the 2v1 beside the river, saber explosion. They did a lot of the same things, and so it's like, well, maybe I'm a little biased towards it because of that, but
yeah,
I think my favorite part of this one was their 2v1. They did a really good job on their 2v1. Making sure that the person on the other side isn't doing a twirl or something to escape the choreography for a little bit.
Are any of these guys in chat?
Not that. No. If you're in chat, go ahead and give a shout out. I'll read chat while you guys are going ahead.
Yeah, I really like the that it's from the perspective of the villain of the story. I think that's really cool.
What was his voiceover mostly about? Like, what was his choice like in this short?
He was talking about how your life is you got fate going on, or is your life made up of the choices that you make? And here I am, I have to choose what to do.
It was actually the villain is talking about the main character, the girl that's fighting now, about how she's her choice that she has to make.
Okay, got you. So he's like narrating for her story outside of it. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I got it.
Their hand combat is actually pretty good here as well.
Yeah,
they just went through.
Yeah, I think they could have shot that to show it better, like because they
were just her back covered most of it. Yeah,
and so it almost it looked like practice choreography and not. But you can't do real punches on film, and so it's the camera angles and everything that sells that, and so it just needed that little bit to get it up there.
Also, again, good music editing, making sure that the music is flowing. Like, I don't know if it's original music or if it was music that they took. Because if it was music they took, they did a good job of chopping it up to make it fit within the fight and transitioning it. I
would have, on the visual effects side of things, I would have added a little bit of motion blur fanning to the sabers.
Right.
They're very, a little too crisp for me, but in chat they're saying actually we were hitting each other.
Oh wow! Don't do that. That's unsafe.
Like full punches.
That always seems to be the case, is when you do like full contact, it never looks as good as the fake thing. Like we've done it in a duel, like with Anton, and like he like crushed my chest with his knee, and it didn't look good.
Oh,
but
that's right. That is right. I remember that. Yeah. It did. It was like more stilted. The real one. Yeah. Oh yeah, you took a few knees. That was pretty bad.
I love this duel though. I love overall the emotion, the energy. They keep it going the entire time. The ending maybe is a little bit long, but yeah, I loved it all.
Yeah. And is this your guys' first entry or second? I don't remember.
If it's their second, I think I've seen them before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but really good job. I was a fan of this one. It was kind of in and out of my top 10 for a bit, but once I watched it again, it was like, yeah, this is a really good entry.
And I've seen others too, like in chat, like give it props too. Like when we were asking about what everyone's favorite entry was this year, it came up a few times. So something I might have missed, but that you guys were able to speak to.
Yeah.
Cool. So our next one is queued up, so we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. This one is Omega. This one's Omega.
Yes. And whenever we see you guys, we always just call you the Primal guys.
Love the logo.
I know, because like they have to, or Yachty, because of that too. I do have questions about this opening sequence, because what I get from it, obviously, is that he is trying to save this woman, whoever it is to her, him, friend, sister, lover. I would think, as someone who cares for her, you would immediately want to, like right now, he hasn't ignited. I think that he would go and attack him, but then they have this kind of walk off and like stare down, which I think, on its own is like, oh, that's cool. We can just like look at each other, which I think makes more sense if it's like a fight between two warriors. But since it seems to be more of a personal thing where he like killed someone close to him, I don't know if that walk worked for me. But once they start fighting, I don't really care about it anymore, because the fight's really, really awesome and the performances they give it.
I think something they do here that I like.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, this team every year, what I notice most about them is their facial expressions. Is like almost they're paying attention to their character motivations in the fight, which is something I've always found very difficult. But like you can see the look on this guy's face where he's like, I'm struggling to get this to work, but I'm winning.
Very important to do that.
And the look on the other guy's face is just like pure hate. Die. And yeah.
Yeah, acting with the faces, they do very, very well. And also just when they're always giving their all within their fights. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like ever... I mean, it is some of the choreography can be like a little bit flashy, and there are openings that they're missing, but because they're performing it so well, I kind of don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it matters more to me that they're pushing themselves like that.
I also feel like you can tell they placed the camera during the choreography. Like it was a part of it. It's not like it's not random. It's landing where it needs to and leading you where it needs to.
Yeah.
And wonderful focus pull on that slow-mo. That's hard to know.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, there was a really good focus pull on that. I didn't think about that. That's totally true.
And what you were saying, Philip, about their facial expressions, especially the good guy, the guy with the tonfas, it's like his facial expressions aren't just like what his character is, his motivation in the scene. It's also he's reacting to the choreography, even though they've practiced it hundreds of times probably. He's still able to put that, this is the first time it's happening in his face, and that's a really nice thing.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, the hair would burn a little bit. It would singe. No, not the nice, beautiful beard.
and I think this is one of the first times that we've seen tonfas in a fight, and I'd say this one, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not a practical weapon for a lightsaber because it can easily hit yourself, but it worked fairly well for this fight, I would say.
Yeah, this guy, the good guy in other fights, like he does dual wield very well. I feel like I think in the first one they ever did was single, and that was also good. But he also does really good with the unorthodox weapons, I think. But the only thing too is that the way this ends with the death of the hero, I didn't really understand. Like I was saying before with Till Death Do Us Part, I got that sacrifice. And I got like the progression of that and the drama and the tragedy of that. But this one just felt like it was just a kill. Like I didn't really feel the narrative pacing to lead to that moment.
The theme wasn't as strong on this one, I would say. It was more just the should I kill you or should I not?
Right.
And I would have liked to see that choice integrated a little bit more throughout the fight rather than just that one moment. But
his choice wasn't more should I kill him or should I not. It's like should I kill him in a fair fight or kill him while he's down?
Yeah.
Because his moveset indicates that he does want to kill him. He's making lethal strikes.
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like the Achilles fight where he's like, I won't let a stone take my glory kind of situation.
Yeah.
You know, when what's the guy he fought? It was Achilles versus, what was his name? The other one. The dude from Troy. Hector, that's what it is. Yeah. Like, Hector was definitely losing that fight, but he didn't didn't finish him off. Which could have been like something that could have progressed, if that was what they were going for, then have that be the case where it's like, I won't be dishonorable. Or maybe with the beginning fight with the girl and the guy, maybe he did something that was dishonorable and he's like, no, I will defeat you, but not in the way that you just did with, my friend or whatever. And then the tragedy then becomes, well, you kind of have to fight unfair if you want to win. But these are things I feel like that we're kind of coming up with, and I don't know if that is actually clearly defined within the fight itself.
The Till Death Do Us Part guy said in chat that the choice was them choosing to fight on sand instead of in the forest.
Oh, they totally walked to a different location to do that.
I wonder if this is the first entry that we've gotten from Norway, because someone in the chat, I think it was the guys who made it, they said that was filmed in Norway.
They filmed before, so unless they just moved to Norway recently, or they went to Norway specifically for this reason, because they've entered 2 other times before, Primal and what was the other one?
Oh, that's right,
Fury.
Oh my God, Fury. Thank you. Yes, Primal and Fury. But yeah, again, they're probably my favorite performers of this year, for sure.
Yes.
And I like to see more of that. Like you were saying, Philip, that the choreography was motivating what was happening within the fight. I think that was very key to hone in on, and that's what was done very well. Possibly the best, spoiler alert, in the contest.
Yeah, these guys have considered, even from their first entry, their performances have been just at the top every time. Just really good. Something I would have liked to have seen was actually I wanted to see the girl in the beginning fight a little bit more, rather than just dying when you first cut to her. Just adding a little something else, but it would just been cool to see.
Cool. The next one is everyone queued up for the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yep.
Go. 3, 2, 1. Unpause. The next one we have up is Lightless, which was shot on red. This one was a red shot. Definitely feels like there was like a team behind this one for sure.
Yes. Did you guys film it in a like? Did you build that cave set for this, or was it used from a different production?
Yeah, I wonder about that too.
How successful do you think this Night for Day was? Or no, it's Day for Night.
Yeah, I was wondering at first if it was just like a color grade, but then I think I realized it was trying to go for a Day for Night, which I don't think is super successful.
No, I would have.
It's too bright. There's too many bright spots.
Yeah, it's just like I bet you they were wishing that the sun wasn't out that day, and they're like, "Well, too bad, we gotta do it."
Right. Yeah. Like they thought, like, oh, it says it's an overcast day, and then they get there and they're like, oh my god, it's so sunny. You know.
Yeah, I would have maybe underexposed it quite a bit if you were planning on doing Day for Night from the beginning.
Pretty good editing right here. I like that there's a transition between her friends and then like the Sith people who are like possessing her. Like there's a quick like cut thing that they have going on. I think that was really well done.
Yeah.
From a visual effects standpoint, these elements are really good. But to really, really sell it, what you have to do, which also same note for your sabers, is that you have to, when something is obstructing your effect, you have to cut around it so that it feels like it's in the space. Because sometimes these sparks are just on one layer in front of them, but not going behind them and in front of them, so that it feels like the dust is all in around there. You know what? I think it is a build set. Now that I think about it, now I look at it.
Yeah, they just said
in the chat.
They built a warehouse, or they did it in a warehouse. They set up
crumpled brown paper on everything.
And I like the little tidbits of the pacing, because they first established, I think at one point she either kicks or hits one of her people she's fighting, and then you see the reaction of that with one of her friends getting like pummeled, and you're like, oh, I get it. Like I get like what conflict's going on right now. I think that was done really well, and progressing that throughout the fight.
And the glows on the sabers look really good. The roto is a little bit here and there. There's a few mistakes, like that pillar that's in the middle of the fight. Every once in a while, a saber goes in front of it when it should be behind it. But the glows look really good, I would say, across the board.
Oh, they didn't roto the little holes. It's just the practical showing through, which works though.
Yeah.
Because they're using like force effect sabers or something like that, right?
Yeah.
There is like glow casting off of them, yeah.
And they did a good job of matching with glow for the most part.
I actually like that move a lot. When she just rips her saber out of it, I think that's a good moment. It feels aggressive. Yeah. You know, that was a really good move.
Did anybody else think the music sounded like Princess Bride?
Oh, I don't remember.
I know the stream can't hear the music right now, but that's what I thought when I was listening to it. I was like, it's Princess Bride. I mean, I think it was an original score, but it sounds like the Princess Bride.
I've seen that saber a bunch. The talons, whatever those are. And I like that in terms of theme, they do a really good job of making the choice persistent, you know.
Yeah. This one was pretty cool.
Shot reaction. They do a very good job of that. They have the fundamental like filmmaking skills down. Oh no! But did she kill herself? Or am I remembering this incorrectly? Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the Sith was possessing her. So killing herself gets rid of the possession. Like I didn't understand exactly what the magic system.
Well, it's like if the avatar, is that the word? Would that be the word you use? If the avatar gets hurt, it gets transferred to the real person.
Right.
So she's the avatar. So she kills herself.
But it didn't seem like. Right, and then it got rid of her dark spirit, but it didn't seem like the dark spirit was ever controlling her ever. You know what I mean? Like that never was like the issue. So it was weird. I know that portion of the story, like I didn't really get.
The part where when her minions were affected and it affected the two people that were disabled, that one was clear. It was just
that one was very clear.
The main character was a little bit.
Yeah, cause I was like, what? If that was the case, then she would be like possessed, and you know. But
it made the choice nice because it's like I'm choosing to hurt myself so that you die and everybody gets saved.
Yeah. But yeah, shot on red. I didn't even realize until I watched it like a second time. I was like, oh my god, they did totally shoot in red. I like didn't notice that the first time I like went through it. We're gonna go straight into the next one. So go to blue pause, make sure we're all in the same spot. Yeah. We're gonna go straight in. 3, 2, 1, unpause. This one is the one that was most surprising to me. I'm gonna be straight up. Like when I like watched the first like shot, and I was like, oh okay, this is just gonna be like a thing. But then like they get into it, and I was like, whoa, this came out of nowhere. And I love comedy fights. Oh,
you guys can't see it, but Philip has an Oreo.
Yeah, I have Oreos as well.
By the way, what do you guys go with? Do you guys go with cream or cookie? What do you guys prefer?
I actually like pulling off the cookie on one side, eating that, and then eating the cookie and cream on the other half.
They just did something that like I love when people do in lightsaber duels. Who did it? I can't remember the name of the entry. We just watched it. I'm terrible, but they like the first shot of choreography is just like longer than the rest of them. It's almost like a one take.
Yeah,
and like that's just the perfect way to start off a duel. It's like
do
solid choreo right at the top, show it all.
So you can know we can do it, and then we'll cut in. And this, even their motion of camera, like going into each scene, you know, that pushing, very effective.
Yeah,
very effective. And all this, like the shots, the disarm, like they're doing a good job with the editing, and even the choreography is some of the more creative choreography we've had in this year's contest.
There were several moments that were, excuse me. There were some moments that were like the strikes didn't quite hit because like if they hadn't been blocked, they would have just gone through and hit air. But the performances are good enough to compensate for that.
Exactly. Yeah. And even that they had that, we missed it, but him sliding down the stairs, like they're having fun with their choreography. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so,
or like
in this part,
there was a section of the knife fight there that looks like straight out of Winter Soldier.
The knife drop thing to the other hand, and
Yep.
Smart. The energy in this is just so good.
I also think a lot of it, they did a really good job of editing John Williams' music to this.
Yes,
it's really keeping up with the pace. And this thing is just hilarious.
Yes, it is. It's so great. I love it.
Cut to the third party bystander.
Yeah.
Who looks a lot like Jake from Vsauce. I was like, hey, it's Jake from Vsauce. And then
I love the chat.
Okay.
Stream. Yeah, they doing really good stuff, man. Good energy. Yeah. And it's always going. You know what I mean? Like they're doing very good with their timing.
Look at that.
And I love the two-hand saber, or this moment here.
Yes, it's just ridiculous. It's like, oh, I don't have a saber. What are we gonna do? Oh, we'll just have someone give you one. Yeah.
It was this janitor.
I know, he's the one who did it. He did it all.
And they're fighting in the background is actually really good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's all one take. It's good. Good stuff. Yeah. They did it really, really solid. Like this literally surprised me. Like it really, really surprised me. And I don't know if obviously this year they have a camera, but one of the previous years they made a point to shoot everything on their iPhone, because I think someone at one point was like, "Oh, I don't have a good camera to shoot with or whatever," and they're like, "You can shoot with whatever you have," you know, like, and they shot their entire duel with the iPhone, and I was like, "Awesome! I'm glad they did that."
Yeah. And let's see, what was it?
Well, if you guys are in the stream, can I ask, are your saber hilts got any 3D printed components on them? I think that was something I noticed. Because if they are, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's good they're using the camera to wrap around for this freaking Anakin. No one should ever do this. But okay, fine. You guys are silly, so you go with it.
And Jeff, why would you do this to yourself?
Yeah, why would you put yourself through such agony?
I
would not wish this on my worst enemy.
No. This
I would not have those ignite until the very last frame.
Yes.
Just so I would have that much to do.
Right.
But I'm sure all these kids appreciate it though.
And props on rotoing a whole bunch of sabers that weren't actually there. Like the tracking on them.
It's not just really roto, it's ignitions.
Yep. Oh, this is crazy. Too much. I would make these shots super short.
And I love the guy
you don't have to know what's going on.
Runs through just waving his saber. You know, just like,
Yeah, but even like some of the choreography that they showed here, like you can see it's just kids kind of doing stuff, but right here, like that was actual choreography, which is like, whoa,
Right.
that was cool.
I love the couple people with just pool noodles, just like lay them down.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how you
Touch the pool noodles.
choose your side. Oh my god, it was an ad this whole time. They were sponsored.
It was a Tide ad.
And then I love the school's on fire, and
Room guy.
he doesn't care about the bodies.
No, not at all. He's jamming to John Williams right now. Like that one, this one made me happy.
Tchaikovsky.
Like just straight up, this one just made me really happy. To 300. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, 300 hours of editing it took for him to complete that entry, and he made it. He made it the deadline and got everything completed. I think the noodle was like not a unfinished shot. I think that was a deliberate look at
deliberate like humor.
Yeah.
Noodles or boppers, I guess you call them.
So props to the people who were saying they couldn't make deadline. We're just gonna refer to who entered. It was Jeffem. Is that his name, Jeffem?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you say it? Am I saying it correctly? Yeah, we'll just always point to him and be like, Cookies and Cream did it. Cookies and Cream did it.
Did it.
All right, cool. Next one.
I got
that's
my
right.
Oreos.
No one could see you. No one could see. Yeah, show you guys the Oreos because no one could see it because we were all
I got
I
my Oreos.
just for you, man. Just for you. We got the Oreos out just for you. Yes, they did shoot here in the last location before. When they shot on their iPhone or on their smartphone, they shot it in a school location. Yeah, I like it. Just like bring up Oreo. All right, cool. Next one queued up. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, unpause. Next one we got is Divided. I thought this one was a pretty clean one. It had very delicate framing, very good composition, I would say.
Yeah.
Good use of rules of thirds. This one's like a clean. Mask is pretty cool. And this too, I like the symmetry in which they're taking off their, which later is revealed that he's fighting himself.
I forgot to check to see if they were like if one of them was left-handed the whole way through, or they just did that for the symmetry.
Oh, no, yeah, it is for the symmetry because technically we're both right-handed.
Yeah. I feel embarrassed that I didn't realize that it was going to be the same guy as the villain at the beginning, but it made rewatching it even more fun because I actually saw all the moments where you have mirrored choreography and they're doing the same thing and it was, this one was really fun to rewatch and see all the little moments that you put in.
When I first watched it, I thought I saw a cutaway and I was like, did I see a cutaway? And then I realized that it was progressing like that. And I like this, even the slow moment of they just broke the little slow motion beat that you have. Yeah. And then it builds back up like that. That's some very delicate pacing, and they did it very, very well.
Yeah. Also, on a performance note, something that I noticed was the guy in the white tank top is doing he's putting all of his motion and energy into it, and then the guy in the mask, he's always just making very fluid, precise, nonchalant movements. It was a little touch that kind of sold it for me.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if you guys are in chat, but are you guys two guys related? Because you have very similar physicality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also, they're doing a good job of using speed ramps. They do it very subtly. They don't overdo it, so where it accentuates a strike rather than becoming the entire piece of choreography. They even did that in Crouching Tiger. They shot. I think at 22 frames a second, and then to 6. I can't remember what it was, but they cranked it back up to 24 to speed up some of the fighting in that movie. But great cinematography, in terms of the shots.
Yeah. On a visual effects note, for the most part, the sabers look okay. Because you use the saber plugin, there's a few little motion blur issues here and there. But I would say that the contact flashes are a little in your face on the artifacting.
Right. Just they have the flaring that jumps out into the screen, which does happen
to sometimes. The thing that I don't know if it was Ryan, but someone made a contact flare that you could just use.
Yeah, it's still. I think it's in the I think it's still in the resource part, if I'm not mistaken. But
that's the first time I've ever seen he parried it, but just not enough and got hit.
Right, exactly. So he got stabbed in the leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Use of the lightsaber as a contact weapon because an edged weapon wouldn't have done that.
Correct. Yeah, I like to see that when the lightsaber is treated as a lightsaber. You don't need to do a lot of twerking for it or anything like that. Maybe to break somebody's guard, but not to actually, do harm.
Also, I liked your set.
Oh, there
I'm a
it
fan
was.
of the
Missing Roto.
just a little bit. I'm a fan of like the totally black room with the top lighting and stuff like that. And this one looked really good.
There's another one that's
Reminds
like
me
that
of-
coming up. Yeah.
There is. That reminds me of a classic one. I can't remember. The Clash? Or it was made by the guys who made The Clash?
No, it was a Minor Threat. Minor Threat. Yeah,
Minor
yeah.
Threat.
Oh, see, we
Yep,
know we're
reminds
nerds.
me
We're
of that.
LCC nerds over here. That was the last time they're like, we won, we're out. I was like, no,
Yep.
continue. You're so good. So people do that. They're like, they win. They're like, all right, I'm out. Peace. Okay, you continue making good duels, please.
Also, I like that
Their sabers
cap.
are interesting. Yeah, their hilts are really interesting looking.
Yeah.
They look like modified like Ultra Saber, like they added stuff to regular props and they look cool.
One of those strikes me as the kind of the sink drain.
Oh, this happened a lot too this year. People doing the new canon reason for red sabers, like you have to make them bleed. Like that's in the new canon. That's what it is now. Like red sabers don't come from like a crystal. You actively make them bleed. And another one too. The other new canon thing where like you can purify a crystal, which comes up in another entry.
So, all right, next year you can do the sequel to this and have this fight.
I would hope so. I want to see them return for sure. Like I like what they did a lot. I think it was a very clean fight, very clean.
Yeah.
Good musical editing too. I'm trying to get the thing to stop so we can all be synced. All right, cool. All right, so we have our last two. Our next one we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. And this next one is in-game, very sexy black and white at the start.
How dare you modify my...
Now you feel like Ricky.
Child.
Really great thing about this, they also did a very good job of cutting on action. Very subtle what they did right there, but with the crown, you can see it fizzing out, right? But that action does not end until it pulls out of into the wide shot, and then you see it actually fully dissipate. That stuff is really, really important. You might not actively understand what's going on, but your brain subconsciously knows that is a seamless cut. They do a lot of that in this entry, but that was one in particular I want to point out. And I think phenomenal job.
This one for me, along with Destiny 3, was for me a full package. One of the full package ones where all the notes are hitting together. The story, the performances, the choreography is all working together and making something that's really good, fun to watch.
Really agree with that. And I felt a journey with this. So this one definitely had a very distinct beginning, middle, end. Like these are very good storytellers that are behind this team right here.
I know. It's once the kind of the theme music for the rest of the entry kicked in, I was definitely like, I'm feeling the hype as I was watching.
Right.
Like the music helped a lot with that. Just sort of like, yeah, go.
And then going back to the performances and like acting within the fight, I feel like the lead actress here did a very good job of that. Even when she's like had her moments where she sees like her buddy is about to get like killed and everything, like I felt that like it was a genuine, authentic performance for me.
It would have been fun since you all are certain chess pieces. It would have been cool to see a few moments of like integrating your chess characters into that
right, and they
fight.
have specific styles, like like, oh, I'm a rook, so I only do like straight shots or something, or
or like only can do diagonal kind of
right.
moves. In the knight, it's like double block. That's a knight thing, I would say.
And the makeup, so good, so good,
very good. And like the bishop dodges all the time.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like having those all like styles for each of them. Now, my understanding is they're both pawns, or I know at least, is she a pawn and she's about to turn into a queen? Is that what the illusion is?
Yeah, and then he was the knight.
Because she's the only one who can make it or can become a queen. Because only pawns are the ones that can become queens in the game of chess.
There are a few shots that it looks like you shot on a green screen and then just removed all the green. I wanted to see a little bit of like hazing coming from the top to motivate the lighting on them, because the black background is just really solid. And I wanted to see just a little bit of flaring maybe, or just a little bit of haze and rays coming from the top. But good.
And he's
job
king, right?
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the kind of the
she's a pawn. That's on her. It's on her thingy. Yeah, she's a pawn. I just noticed that they have arm braces that that didn't know who they are. Now with this, I love the build up of this when she comes out and she's like uber awesome. But then I feel like the subsequent choreography, I don't know if it's sold for me as well. Like I like everything's there. I think the whole like everything about this duel is there. So that some of the minor execution bits could have been a bit better. Like this final fight, I thought was gonna be like I'm ready for the music to pump me up and I'm gonna see awesome, and then I didn't see anything like quite what I was looking for.
I wanted to see. For me, it was I like the choreography. It was too quick. I wanted to see a little bit of. I felt like there needed to be one more character that she fights. Like she knocks two guys
like
out.
A final boss or something, or like another queen or something.
Yeah.
So that there's more progression there
But,
instead of just being like a quick kill.
The music really helped on this one, or I thought it was really good using the song, and just the moment of when the pawn becomes queen is just really, really cool.
Yeah, that moment is really, really cool. Her coming in and then the makeup job she's got, like, gets a phenomenal job on that for sure.
Yeah. That was my thought. Kind of was towards what motivated the white characters not really killing anyone. Like they got blows in, but it's like every hit, it's like hit. Okay, you're down. I'm moving on.
Yeah, they should have killed them because it's like a chess game. You defeat the pieces and then
it made sense to me because, like in actual chess, you have attacks, right? This piece is attacking that piece, but not actually hurting it until it moves on. So that's kind of what I thought they were going for, but I didn't fully understand it.
Okay. And there was a point too where I felt like she made it across already. Like I felt like at first I thought, okay, they're just gonna stop her from getting to like the last row.
Oh yeah.
And then
I
there was
thought
times where they were like,
say that she got to one of the sides of the boards, and it's like, oh, it can't go any further, or I'll fall off or something.
Okay, that's what was going on. I totally did not pause. So whoops.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Any more notes, Ricky? You have any thoughts?
No. I have no thoughts.
You have no thoughts? Okay, all right, cool. We're going to our next one. Everyone get queued up for our last nomination. In 3, 2, 1. Unpause. We need music in the judging videos. Yeah, we can't really do it. I mean, maybe if we can like maybe have it play like a little bit or something, like really low, that might work.
I'll orchestrate something live.
This last one is Darkness Unveiled.
Yes.
You even had like a trailer for this one.
You guys really upped your production values since last year.
I didn't realize they entered last year until you mentioned to me that they did Darkness Emerges, correct?
Yep.
The one that was like in the tunnel, the green tunnel.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that one last year.
I liked his entrance. He's just like, I'm here. Oh, I'm here. And then later on, when the apprentice reveals himself too, it's just like, for a second I thought, wait, how are they going to do a forearm fight? Oh.
Yeah. Something I was a real big fan of in this sequence, in like everything's really compressed and compact, and the way you have the contact flashes flickering, it made the sabers feel dangerous. Like and the sound, like that's something.
The sound is very close. Yeah, the sound is actually very close to the ear.
Yeah.
When it whizzes by, very good job on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is intense.
And that shot too, where you see the flash right on his face.
Again, I gotta wonder, did you roto the little holes, or is that just the practical showing through?
What was that you're saying, Ricky?
I feel like they're. I'm trying to see. It feels like they're like wiggling the intensity of the blade too when they're like clashing or they're sustained.
Oh, really like the effect itself. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It feels a little bit more than the flare, but if it's just the flare, then wow. It's very effective. I
feel like that move was a little bit awkward though, where he used his double saber to like push out at him. I don't know if that was like that didn't sell to me that would have pushed him back. You know.
Yeah.
That one was good though. The one in the disarm one. Salutations. I don't know if anyone knows who Salutations is.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Just from the trailers, so just from the game cinematics. Yeah, I really like your costumes as well in this one.
Good kill. Good effing kill.
Look at the roto in the leaves.
Oh, they rotoed the leaves out? Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah. See, that's the thing. When you do it, it disappears. You know.
I really like that kill as well, where he just like jumped over the bush and was like, "Yeah, dead."
Yeah.
You'll get my standoff looks. This guy's standoff looks are pretty good when he's just like staring down people. That's totally Ray's costume, right? I'm not crazy. Is that
It
her
is.
Last Jedi costume? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's darker, but it's same thing. Yeah.
I think it has some different under elements, but it's like elements of Rey's costume.
There's
And
a
this is
fourth
another
show coming
entry
up.
that had like bad guys just sort of win, but with me not really feeling the tragedy of it so much. Like a duel that did really well of bad guy winning, all good guys losing was that Darth Maul one, the Darth Maul Apprentice, the big one, like the most popular Darth Maul fan film.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we were with that apprentice, and it was really about her facing the challenge, not so much about her winning. And yeah, that progression worked for me.
Yeah.
Because everybody just
No
kind of dies. No monologuing.
For me on this one, I wasn't a huge fan of a lot of the choreography. It wasn't bad. It just didn't stand out. For me, it felt like this one was more about the story and the characters rather than the choreography, which is fine to do. I just wanted a few more moments of just like, especially during this ending, just a little bit more showing her skill just a little bit.
Right, because I don't feel like I connected with her as a character. Like even when she, is off right now, I didn't feel like, oh no, like I was there with you. It was more like it just kind of happened. And I don't know.
And also that top-down sequence where you shot with the drone, the sabers were a little too, or the characters were a little too far from each other, and if one of the sabers hadn't been blocked, it would have just cut air. It wouldn't have actually hit the character. So I would have tightened those characters up a little bit, brought them a little closer together.
Yeah.
Just specifically for the top-down shot. I like that stab as well, that kill move there, where he just ignites it into her neck. It felt just like quick and like, oh, dead.
Yeah.
What's Jake Lloyd gonna do?
You just call him Jake Lloyd. That's so funny.
Yeah. And we have a Darksaber as well.
Which they did very subtle, because they only did it for a few frames. They're like, all right, enough of this,
Yes, because that's not an easy thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like,
so
destroy it.
Yeah.
Destroy.
That was another one that felt really like they were trying to do like a complete short film with the whole story and everything for me.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely were striving for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Any last comments overall about the top 10 that we have here? Anything that you wanted to comment on you forgot to midway? Because if not,
I would say that everyone was pretty consistent on picking really good music. There wasn't a lot that didn't have great music, so good job on that one across the board.
Yeah, I think if you had to sum up the year, it's that we had a lot of composers doing custom stuff. That was really cool. We had
that's good.
A lot of, you're seeing a lot more of the practical props in the past couple of years, and especially this year. But I think this year what we saw a lot more of was drones.
Yeah, this was the year.
Drones are becoming more practical. Yeah,
a little bit easier to get a hold of and more practical. Yeah, I like seeing all the drone stuff.
All right, cool. Unless anyone else has last comments, we can do intermission deliberations now.
Cookie.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, cool. Cookie. All right, so guys, go ahead and take a break. Step away from your computer screens for a little bit. Get a sandwich, maybe pop some popcorn. We're not going to be back in the next 15 minutes, so take your time to do what you need to do. And we will be back shortly. Intermission.
Woo.
Gonna keep talking.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again.
lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 of things we know. Spirit of things, we lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
This is the end cycle of this record. Please continue with Cinematography.
What if I go stronger? What if I get higher? What if I start doing things I know I will regret? I will make my own way, I will not surrender. I will do my best until I get put under. What if I go stronger? 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 What if I go stronger?
All right, guys. Sorry about that wait. Welcome back. If you guys can hear me, like if you guys are walked away from your computer, this is the time to come back. Come back to your computer. We are about to announce
Yes.
the winners. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about the subcategories first, and then we're gonna lead that up into the popular vote, and then into the top. Well, we usually say top 3, but now we're gonna say top 5 because there were 5 entries that got to the top 5. So we're gonna do that for you guys. But first, we're going to talk about our favorite in terms of theme, and Max is going to take that away for you guys.
Yep. So the theme this year was choice, and the top 3 we have at number 3 we have "Till Death Do Us Part." You guys had a really cool setting for your theme, and a really good solid choice at the end, and we really like that. For number 2 we have "Endgame." And this one also we really like that the whole story was based on the theme for the pawn at the end and whether or not she should go forward. So we really like that one. And for number 1 on theme, we have drumroll. Destiny 3.
Destiny 3. Congrats, guys.
Yes, this one was just a really solid theme. The whole story was based on it. We introduced it at the very beginning, having to decide which saber and seeing which path you should go down, and then we get to the end and there's a nice little twist, and just really, really, really solid job on that one this year, guys.
Like how you said twist. Yeah, twist. Nice. Yeah, congrats on that one, guys. Next one we have for our category is choreography, which Ricky is going to take away for us.
For the category of choreography, we're looking for, is it interesting? Is it stick bashing? Does it work? I don't know. Number 3, Omega. For number 2, Destiny 3. Destiny Tree. And
Destiny Tree. Nice.
At the number 1 spot,
We have cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. I am actually as shocked as anyone.
We were all very
I was
surprised.
not expecting that.
You guys had like very, very creative use of your space. You guys evolved it well. It ramped up. It escalated. It kept moving forward. It had really good momentum, and just all around it felt the best. And you guys kept everything really clean in terms of your like cinematography, like the way you chose it. I mean, this isn't for cinematography, but like the way you guys filmed it all really showcased what you guys were working out very well, which is
so
like you.
Yeah, break out your Oreos.
Oh, break out your Oreos.
I ate all
had
mine.
some Oreos. I love Oreos too. That's like one of my favorite cookies. All right, so next up we have you guys something?
Cookies and cream. Your choreography wasn't just solid, but it was entertaining as well. It was like fun to watch, which is another good.
Like my favorite was like the sliding down of the railing on the stairs. Yeah. The dagger stuff was really cool. Like, yeah, I think you guys had some pretty creative stuff in there.
Best force battle in a lightsaber duel ever.
Oh my god, yes. So every time I think about that, I'm like, I have a smile on my face every time I think about that entry, which is great. That's great. You guys left me with a smile. Next up, we have performance, which we're gonna have Philip do for us.
Okay, performance. Well, we said this kind of in the stream, but what we were really looking for in performance was how well are the actors taking the choreography and interpreting as their characters in the film. So for number 3 in performance, we had This Is My Fate.
This Is My Fate. Congrats.
Yeah, we really liked what you guys were doing with your 2v1, how there wasn't any of that one person waiting for the other. You could see the emotion and the feel of everything on your faces.
Yep.
It worked really well. For number 2, we have Endgame. What we really liked about
we didn't hear.
Yeah. We really liked again how we could see the character motivations on everybody's faces, what they were doing, what they were going for. You could see them reacting to things happening in the choreography. Yeah, solid all around. And for number 1, performance, drum roll, we have Omega.
Like for me, that was like a landslide, honestly. Like they were great.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a unanimous.
Again, we were saying this in the stream. You can see on their faces what their character motivation is, how they're reacting to the choreography. You can see it in their body motions, the fluidity and smoothness with which they're executing the choreography. They made it look like it was spontaneous and not like they'd rehearsed it a million times.
Yes.
For sure. Oh, sorry. I didn't prompt you. I'm sorry about the segue. For our next category, we're going to be talking about cinematography, which Max is going to take away for us again.
Yes. For cinematography, we were looking for the camera, not just good-looking shots and pretty shots, but we were looking for camera work that sold the choreography from whatever angle you chose. And so for number 3, we have Divided, which this one was kind of a surprise to all of us, but it just we all really liked the cinematography on that one, and it looked really good. It was a cool setting, and just sold your moves. For number 2, we have Omega. You guys have been really consistent with your cinematography and just really selling the moves, not getting too close the whole time or not getting too far away, just showing that just what's needed to for every shot. And then for number 1, we have Destiny 3.
Woo!
You guys had really, really solid camera work, really smooth. It wasn't too shaky. I remember your first entry was really shaky.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The progression.
Destiny 1 was pretty shaky, and every year they've gotten a little bit smoother, and it felt really slick and professional, and it just looked really, really good and sold all the moves.
That's what's up. Congrats to Destiny for sure.
Yes.
All right, next up, we have the editing category, which will be headed up by me as well as the next categories. At number 3 for editing, we have Omega. Likewise, I think what we were talking about with Destiny is that it does a really good job of cutting on action and making sure everything feels fluid to the point where you don't really think about the editing, because you never should think about the editing when it's done right. I think they did that very well of choosing the right time to cut away from an action to give it more impact. At number 2, we have in-game. Now I put this. I don't know if I put this at my number 2 or 1, but collectively I think it's here. At least for me, is for its storytelling and the pacing of its editing, as well as the technical fundamentals of editing, like I was talking about with the cutting on action and things like that. But also in terms of pacing, I think it does probably the best this year of having a very good beginning, middle, end, and having like this very cathartic feeling at the end of it that you feel like you went through this journey. That's mostly due to the pacing of the editing, which also important on it in an overall sense. And then the number 3, drum roll please. Boom! We got number 1. Did I say number 2? Sorry,
number 3.
Number 1, not number 3. Number 1. Well, Freudian slip, because it's Destiny 3. That's the reason why.
Destiny 3.
Number 3, because it has a 3 in its title, Destiny 3. Yeah, like I feel like this one had the cleanest edit this year. Again, everything was so fluid. Again, this is sort of tied to its cinematography, but you have to tie that together with your edit and having all those insert shots of like the feet and then maybe like the wood coming out and then like smacking him on the side, like all of that. It was very clean. Like I feel like this was the most. Yeah, go ahead.
And also maintaining momentum throughout the fight. There wasn't like these dull moments or pauses. It was just like there was that constant movement and momentum through the whole thing.
And then when there was pauses, it wasn't like overstayed, because there was those moments where they had the face off with Red Saber guy and then, in the forest. And then when they got into it, it's like, all right, cool. Now we're in it, and we're going to keep that momentum on until we have like our breathing moment. So yeah, very, very, very good job for that, guys. Yes. All right. So as we do every year, thank you once again to Stephen and Sylvia White for hosting the popular vote. We have a popular vote, which sometimes can decide the fate of, like last year, our first and second place was decided by the popular vote. Didn't happen this year, but it's just good to have it for those situations. But for the popular vote, number 3 was Destiny 3. Popular vote, that was by you guys' choice. Number 2 was Till Death Do Us Part for the popular vote. And number 1 in the popular vote was Omega. All right, guys.
Looks like Sylvia's in the chat.
Oh, Sylvia's here. Yay. Oh, also everybody shout outs, right here. I'm going to do it right now. Everyone, shout outs to Sylvia. I'm going to tag her. Boom. Shout out. Everybody shout her out. They don't have to do this every year. They can just say no to us. But they do it every year. For a moment there too, they were doing archives for the LCC, and that's the only way I'm able to keep track of like LCC 1 through 9 or something like that, because I think that's
all of the old ones.
Yeah, so like that, big ups. Everybody give shout outs to her, please. Very, very big help. All right, the moment you guys all have been waiting for.
Yes.
Usually we do a top 3, but we had a few entries that were up there, so we're gonna do a top 5. At number 5, with 3 points in the judging, Till Death Do Us Part. Ooh. Good job, guys. Now you guys did a really good job last year. I think you guys maintained that energy this year. I think the thing that we wanted to see improved is what we were saying during the fight itself. Make sure that we can see your action. Make sure it's not too fast, too kinetic, that we can't make sense of it. But keep it up. We want to see you guys come in next year and get us a really good, especially whoever that father character was. Get him, please. I want to see some of him.
The Sith guy.
Yeah, the Sith father, oh my God. Yeah. And the girl, the girl's always good. She was good last year too, and she was good this year. So yeah, please, we want to see you guys come back again.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. Oh, also I didn't actually specify. I'm sorry. So the way the judging works is that we do it by a point of system of 15, 10, and 5th, awarded to first, second, and third. So the reason why you're hearing these arbitrary. Oh, by the way, they had 5 points, so in that 3, that was my fault. They had 5 points in the judging. So the reason why you're hearing these things is because it's equating to our judge scale. So at number 4,
preferential voting system.
Preferential voting system, correct. And with 15 points, at number 4 is In-Game. Good job, guys. This is one of the ones that we were talking about that had a very good overall package. And for me personally, if you're looking to do well in this competition, especially in the more later years since we started integrating the categories, that's what you kind of want to do, is you want to have a very good all around package versus maybe excelling in one area, or maybe if you feel like, oh, I'm not very good at my choreography, well, don't worry about it, because you can have very good everything else, and that can still elevate you to a higher standing in the competition. And Endgame does that very well, of having a very well balanced all around entry. So congratulations to Endgame, and also great makeup, not just on her face, but that one moment with the guy getting stabbed, and not only was it a visual effect, it was a practical effect working with it, which is the best you can ever do for anything like that.
Yes.
All right, cool. So our top three, at number 3 with 25 points is Omega. Now, you guys already know why we love this one. It's because it's got some really solid choreography. The best goddamn performance that we had this year. Not just in the way that they were doing their blade strikes, but I love that Philip brought that up about their facial expressions, that they feel like this is the first time that they are in this fight. It felt visceral. The only reason it didn't get that high is because we didn't feel the theme was as strong as it could have been. If it were there and it was a little bit more present, easily, I think this could have been one of the top. Yes, I realize I'm talking over you. You guys want to say anything about the entries I've mentioned so far? Sorry about that.
No, you're hitting all the points.
Okay, cool. If I do miss
you were
something,
saying what we were thinking. That
all right, cool. So
like
make sure it's
firing on all cylinders, except for the theme.
Right. Because otherwise, that it would have easily, because you guys always do so well with the performance and choreography. And always bring it. You always bring your 100% game. All right, cool. At number 2, with 35 points is, and this was a shock to many of us, Cookies and Cream.
Yeah, break out your Oreos, everyone.
Break out the Oreos. Everybody break out the Oreos. Spam the chat with Cookies and Cream. Cookies and Cream. This one really shocked me. Like I was saying when we were first watching it, I did not expect, like going into it, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be like kind of like a fun little thing. But then as it progressed each scene, you have that first sequence on the stairs and the playground, and you have them getting inside with like the dagger stuff. And then later on with the force stuff, it's like, it was so great. And that momentum just kept going. And it just makes me smile. Like every time I watch it and after I'm done with it, I'm just like, that was a good time. Like I just enjoy watching that short.
That was the same for me too. It was like the first time I watched it, I was just like, I sat back and enjoyed it. And I was like, that was great.
Right.
As I was thinking about it more and rewatching it more and more, I'm like, oh, this choreo is really solid. Oh, this editing is really good. Oh, that performance is right there with it. And I'm like, there's no reason not to put this at a high ranking in every category, because it's all there and it's funny and enjoyable.
Right. I think the reason we might write it off is because most of our fights are usually like dramatic, and then you see a comedy one, you're like, oh, they're not taking themselves seriously, but then they did everything like that they were supposed to. They had the full package. So I thought that was really, really surprising. Really great work. I'm sorry, Max, were you gonna say something? I thought you were.
No. I was
okay. My bad. All right. So this is the one you guys have all been waiting for. This is the number 1 winner, the winner of LCC 2018. Everyone, drum roll, please. Destiny 3.
Destiny Tree. Destiny Tree, yeah.
Yeah, I think when we came into it and we were deliberating, we were saying like, which one has the ultimate package? What does everything? Well, okay, so I'm pretty nerdy when it comes to Star Wars. So the way that I equate it is to the Form 6 of lightsaber combat. For those of you know who I'm talking about, that's the form that balances all of the others together, and it's kind of like doesn't have the greatest weakness or any great strengths, but it just does everything so solidly. Except for this one, I would say they do editing and cinematography like freaking pretty well. But yeah, you guys did a really good job of doing a very consistent short and then keeping it to the theme as well, and yeah, it's just solid. It's just solid, solid entry.
Everything, all points of it. It was on most of our list for all the themes. It didn't always hit the top, but it was just like consistent all around, and yeah, just really fun to watch. And from the moment you guys posted your first teaser image, I was like, this is going to be a solid entry because you guys bring it every year.
What was your favorite bit about it, Philip? Yeah,
I thought, like you're all saying, the choreography, it wasn't super complicated, but it didn't need to be. the performance was, it felt motivated. You know, the characters are going through their choices and then making them rather than, you know, just rehearsing moves that they've already done. You could see it on their faces. The non-choreography parts that really represented the choice, like that, the way the theme integrated into the piece as a whole just flowed. You know, that's something I would say is really important for any entry, is that sense of flow. It wasn't choppy, even though it was choppy. There was like 3 different portions. Okay, I just realized, what is it, Destiny 3 because there was like 3 different segments? Is that why you guys kept doing 3 punches in a row?
That'd be funny.
They're like,
that was actually pretty clever.
Inception moment there.
Right.
Yeah,
and Ricky, what about? Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were finished. Sorry, Philip. My bad. Or were you good? Were you good, Philip? Oh, my bad. Ricky, you got anything?
Oh. Yeah, no, I loved it. They had a great use of their environment, obviously. Get that out of the way. We know. Good use of trees. You guys' use of theme is really interesting. The way you put it together, you know, you told a solid, cohesive story with it. It's, you know, the way you shot it was also very good. There was a lot of stuff that didn't get lost. You know, there was some frenetic stuff, but there was also some really good, solid stuff that we got to just like see and really focus on. And also you guys' performance, you guys look like you were really into it. Props to you for doing a slide in the dirt. I love when people slide in fights. Never gets used. They did it like twice, maybe, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I
the
think
first
so,
one
yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Music also, too. Give you guys props for your original score and that little Vader motif there at the end. That was awesome. So, yeah.
Cool. And now this is the moment where we want to do some honorable mentions, the ones that didn't get to the top 10, or didn't get into any of the categories that we thought, you know, worth mentioning. For me, I want to give a shout out to Force of Vengeance. That skull mask was insane to do, like insane. Spectral Overdrive.
That was practical. Wasn't that he was wearing a?
I think the skull mask itself was practical, but obviously the flames,
was.
But they tracked pretty well. Like the tracking on that was awesome. Like really, really good. I know you want to give a shout out to Kylo Ren, right, Ricky?
Yes, I know. Yeah,
you did too. Yeah.
All of you.
Go ahead.
Everyone shout out Kylo Ren.
Talk about it.
Ricky, did you have something?
You go, Max.
Oh, okay. The Kylo Ren Bloodline. Yeah, Bloodline. I was a big fan of the guy that played Kylo Ren. He did actually a good physicality, like copying Adam Driver's movements, and also the voice actor you got was really solid. And that one almost made my top 10 just because of just like seeing the Kylo Ren part of it was really fun to watch. And
it was in my dark horse. Like it's there. Like I have it right here. Where it's like, just not there, but it's
there.
Yeah.
There just wasn't quite enough choreography in there for me to go all the way in, but just really good job on that one.
Oh my god! Speaking of that, JVD, right? Is that the one
was
unfinished?
Oh, yeah.
Gotta give shout out. You need to finish your duel next year, because you would have easily, like, you would have been top 3, even without effects or anything. Like what you were doing just in that little sequence you showed us. I mean, obviously we couldn't put it in there because we wanted to give people chances who, like, you know, had completed entries. But if you come in next year with something like that, bruh,
no,
do it.
No.
Yeah, you've been posting unfinished bits, and like even some of the bits that you did post, if you had been able to like put a little bit of color on them and, you know, put some music, you didn't even have to do sound effects. It would have definitely made it into the top 10.
I always point to Ryan versus Brandon 2. Most people don't realize it, but when it first was entered into LCC, it had not only did it not have lightsaber effects, it didn't even have lightsaber sound effects. It was sword effects,
swords and
clanking. And guess what? They won.
and I got 3rd place with Prevail without lightsaber effects. I just had combat flashes, and I just had music. And I got 3rd place. That was actually the same year as you guys did Nemesis.
Which we did without effects.
Oh my goodness! That year was the unfinished. Oh my god. We didn't win. It was Ferocity, which is the most popular lightsaber duel
of all time
online. Period. Like I think it just hit 20 million views. Crazy that one blew up. That's because it had really awesome kills. Any other shout outs you guys have that we didn't touch on yet?
I had kind of an off the wall one. I wanted to shout out. It was In Your Head. It was the one in the classroom with the markers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or well, my like little caption for it was Duel of the Dorks 2, where it's like they're doing this little imagination thing, kind of just but it's with markers. And so while the execution of it, you know, the cinematography, the choreography, and all that needed some work, just your concept was really strong.
Right.
Like I want to see that done.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah.
I also wanted to shout out for two more. One was let's see, where is it? I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but it's Arbitrium, I think.
Oh yeah, Arbitrium. I believe you're right. Yeah.
And I know Beth,
wait, which one though? There's two of them.
but the one by Amalgam Mirror Productions, because
okay,
Beth I don't remember her last name, was in chat, and
Beth Hellcell.
Yes. Good job on just completing an entry and getting it entered, which is a feat on its own, especially for doing lightsabers. Just keep coming back and you know, hear what we're saying about choreography and theme and camera work, and just keep entering. And yeah,
I think that's the thing overall, the takeaway that we can say for everyone. Like, if you didn't make it into the top 10, really hone in and listen to what we were saying about the top 10, why they made it in, even why they weren't on a higher portion of our list, because we gave, I think, pretty good criticism. Like, it wasn't just we were like, didn't like it. We like gave reasons for why and how we think they could be improved. Take that with you into next year. And like as we've seen with many people who've evolved over time, like my first duel was crap. When it first came out, and then I progressively got better. Max, like even you, let's say when you started, you were one of those bottom ones, and then progressively every year you were top, and then you like remained at top for like years. Yeah. Like you guys can do this. You guys just got to take the steps and just really study what it is that you can do to hone your craft, and you'll get there. Like trust us, you'll get there.
I have two shout outs.
Oh,
one fast one is Friendship for making my girlfriend cry. Very good job.
Yes, I want to shout out Friendship as well. I want to see more from you guys.
It was great.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? Which one was that one?
Friendship, the kid.
Friendship. That's right. Sorry, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and just keep entering. I know those guys, and this was one of their biggest things they've ever done. And just keep coming, guys. You guys are doing a good job, and just keep entering, keep getting better.
And emulate. That's the big thing that me and Ricky did in our first duel, was emulating, like just straight up steal moves. Like, not even kidding. Like that's what the best artists do. That's what Picasso did. Like, steal good stuff, and then like that's a good way to start. Eventually your own style will emerge from it naturally, but start with going like, oh, I like that move from Star Wars Episode 3. I want to take that. I like that move from like The Old Republic. I like that from The Force Awakens. Literally, don't feel ashamed of being like, oh yeah, I totally ripped those 3 moves from like that movie. Do it. Yeah. Completely do it, and then you will evolve.
Like, we even had some of that this year. They had the like I said, the Winter Soldier knife drop move.
Yep.
In Krispy Kreme. Awesome. It's like,
and that was one of the best little sequences.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Exactly.
My other honorable mention was This Is My Fate. In my heart, you're my favorite. I don't know why.
This Is My Fate. Yeah, that one got performance number 3.
Yeah,
it got his props. It got his props.
It did, but like, I don't know. I want more from you.
It was close to your heart. It was close to your heart.
Yeah. More.
That's what's up.
We all want more from you guys as well.
All right, so a little teaser here. Well, first off, another reminder for those who want to get a shirt for LCC 2018. I'm going to post a link in the chat right now. You got to get it in the next, if you want it, that is. You got to get it in the next 1 day and 2 hours. So make sure you do it. Once it's done, that's it, and then we'll do 2019 like next year. But another thing we're doing is that we're changing it up a little bit this year for the theme. Usually this is the part where we would tease the theme for next year, but this time we're going to have you guys choose between 5 different themes of what you guys want to do, and then we'll announce which one won the vote, as we did this year on May the 4th, 2019. And your choices are between, I just put the Google Doc link in the chat right now. The choices are revenge, sacrifice, balance, escape, and betrayal. So you guys will vote between those 5. Whoever one has the most votes will be the theme for next year. You will find out what the winning theme is on May the 4th, 2019. with our announcement trailer and all that kind of stuff like we did this year, which was really good. By the way, again, thank you to Max for doing that for us this year. Everyone, let's give shout outs to Max.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good job with
Thank
that.
you.
I think you did a very good job actually even establishing like the theme of choice with the voiceover. I think it was very professionally done too. I thought that was really good.
Thank you.
But I think that is it. Also, we have a Discord. Let me get the link for the Discord. It's probably not saying that Facebook is dying, but it seems like it's happening right now. So we're trying to future-proof and trying to make sure that LCC maintains a life at a place that we can control a little bit. So we are going on Facebook and Discord. So let me hit you guys with the link, which I don't know. Do you have a link for it right now? Because I'm not finding the link for. Oh, here it is. I found it. I'm so sorry. Do not. I'm gonna post the link in the Discord. Go ahead and join us. Also, if you are already in Discord and you want a new role, if you participated, you now become a Jedi Knight. If you had a winning entry that includes any of the subcategories, you are a Jedi Master. Let us know, and then we will get you the right role that you deserve. And I think that is it. Unless you guys have last comments.
Also, if you're just a fan of Star Wars, join the Discord because we have a bunch of Star Wars chats as well.
Right. Yeah, just general conversation for that. So yeah, I see people already like making their votes in the in the chat.
Yeah.
Balance, revenge, escaping betrayal or revenge. That's so funny.
Sacrifice.
But that is it. Max, where can people find more of your work if they're looking to follow you?
On YouTube, just search Max Jordan. Or Max Jordan Films, one of the two. And everywhere else, I'm at Max Jordan VFX.
Awesome. Philip, where can people find more of your work?
In Max's films most of the time.
Also, actually, Philip, you could probably do Abundant House Films.
Yes, I'm also the main production designer for Abundant House. So you can search them on YouTube, look at some of my other props and sets and costumes and stuff that we've done. And then everywhere else, I'm either just Philip Holing or at Marchogwin.
And we didn't talk about this on the stream, but guys, look at his background right now. Like this guy's legit. Like look at all that.
I do props.
Very awesome. Ricky, you guys let us know where we can find more of your work, and don't hold back.
You can find me on Twitter, R.A. Elliott. It's on the video there, 2 L's, 2 T's. And on YouTube, Escape from Post. I'll post in the chat. And you can currently find my work on the DC streaming service on their new show, Titans, and soon to come, Doom Patrol. What?
He said that way too fast. He's being modest right now. This dude is working on the studio lot. Warner Brothers, right? No, is that Warner Brothers or is it who's WB? Yeah, Warner Brothers, right? Yeah. And he did Titans. He was were you the visual effects supervisor? What was like your exact title? Artist. So yes, the effects you see in there, he started online, guys, and now he is a professional as a visual effects artist on a studio lot. Like that's big. LCC, he's trying to like be humble about it. But yeah. Because you met like Ryan, and that's how you met Brandon. I think Brandon was the one who hooked you up, right? Guys, make the relationships now. This is where it's
together.
Yeah, stay together. And I'm Antoine. I am the LCC person right now. And you can find me at AntoineBandelay.com, which has all of my social media and all that jazz. But that's it. Thank you guys for joining us for LCC 2018. That is a wrap.
We did it.
Woo. Bye. May the force be with you. Yay. See you guys next year. Seriously, next year. Let's up it. Let's try to get a sponsor too. Like everybody should like spam Saber. What are they? Ultra Saber or something like that?
Ultra Saber Forge, Kyberlight, one of them.
We should all like 1 week. I should say like Discord. Everybody email them at the same time. See what they say. We really should do that. We really should. Yes. All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.
All right.
Love.
Bye.
May the force be with you. Always.
Always.